streamed by a local journalist shows some of the men accused of killing him. Here you can see two of the Colombian mercenaries that officials say were part of the hit squad. The first man is holding a rifle and signals for the journalist to stop. A second then stands up, rifle glinting in the sun. They tell him to stop recording. At this point, Haitian security forces had trapped the 24 or so alleged assassins along this stretch of road. At the bottom, a roadblock. Then the lookouts, with the majority of the suspects holed up in this building. Moving up the street and past the vehicles the suspects had abandoned on the road, the camera reaches that building. As it pans, you can see two things: several black-clad mercenaries, and this man, one of the two Haitian Americans accused of taking part in the crime. At this moment, he's actually giving a live interview to Haiti Radio Mega, saying they didn't kill the president. Someone died, but we didn't do it, he says. People inside the president's house started to shoot at us, and we fired back to defend ourselves. Vincent then says most of the group believed they were going to arrest the president, not kill him. The journalist who filmed them, Malhaiko Seneschal, who didn't want to show his face, said the group didn't seem to have a plan. He says they knew they were in a tough position and knew the president was dead. They were confused, not sure whether to turn themselves in or fight. Ultimately, some chose to fight, and a fierce shootout with police left at least 3 Colombians dead. The easiest way to tell who actually killed the president would be to see the footage from CCTV cameras inside the presidential residence that a source tells us captured most of what happened, but authorities have refused to release it or even describe its contents. We know that there is CCTV footage from the presidential residence the night of the assassination. Why not release that footage to the public? Would that not answer so many outstanding questions about who did this?
So we cannot reveal to the public anything, any more information until the investigator allow us to do so.
Matt Rivers joins us now live from Port-au-Prince in Haiti. So are authorities any closer to determining an actual motive?
Well, I mean, you heard us ask that question to the police chief, Anderson. He's clearly trying to avoid answering that question, which leads you to believe one of two things. Either authorities don't actually know what the motive is in all of this, or they simply don't want to tell the members of the public, the press, what they have learned so far. We have learned a lot in the past few days about who these suspects are, about who allegedly financed them, organized them, brought them here to the island, even supplied some of the arms to these people. But in terms of the reason, the clear reason as to why Haiti's president was assassinated, we just don't know that yet.
We mentioned the intro, this new reporting about the DEA. Can you just explain that?
I mean, there's still a ton of questions around that, too. So it was a press conference given by Colombian authorities earlier today in which they said that part of the goal here for some of these alleged Colombian mercenaries was to arrest the president of Haiti and then, quote, put him on display for the DEA. Exactly what does that mean? We do not know. They didn't expand on that. They didn't give any evidence to support that allegation. The DEA, as you mentioned off the top, Anderson, declined to comment on this case. So unfortunately, it is just one more mystery that we don't have an answer to.